Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now here's a little picture for you. It's the glitzy scene of a star-studded pre-party for the MTV Video Music Awards hosted by none other than Kanye West. But amidst the flashing lights and booming beats, chaos erupts as hip-hop mogul Suge Knight takes a bullet to the leg. And the plot thickens. Enter Jimmy Henchman Rosemond, a former music executive turned convicted drug trafficker, allegedly pulling strings behind the scenes. But hold up, what's the real story behind this whole Suge Knight versus Jimmy Henchman showdown? Let's take a look. Background information. Marrying Suge Knight's like the heavyweight champ of the hip-hop world. Now he's the guy who co-founded Death Row Records, which basically ruled the rap scene back in the 90s. Now man, you couldn't talk about hip-hop without mentioning Suge Knight. But let's be real for a second, alright? He's had his fair share of run-ins with the law. Everything from assault charges to probation violations. Suge's legal rap sheet reads like a bestseller. And let's not forget about those infamous feuds with other artists that made headlines left and right. Now this dude's journey through the limelight has been a roller coaster ride filled with twists and turns that have kept people talking for ages. From rubbing shoulders with the big shots in the music industry to making headlines for all sorts of reasons, some good, some not so much, Jimmy's story is like something straight out of a Hollywood script. Now Jimmy's hustling his way up the ladder in the music biz, making all the right moves and basking in the glow of success. Now with his knack for making connections and his eye for talent, life's looking pretty damn good for the dude. But as we all know, the road to fame and fortune ain't always smooth sailing. Now just when things is cruising along nicely, the plot thickens and Jimmy finds himself facing some serious challenges. Suddenly, the bright lights of the industry start casting some dark shadows, and Jimmy's caught up all in the middle of it all. But hey, this ain't your typical rags to riches story. The dude gets caught up in some serious stuff. I mean, we're talking drug trafficking charges that land him a one-way ticket to the big house. And if that wasn't enough, there's this whole thing about him allegedly being involved in the shooting of Tupac as well. Yeah, you heard that right, Tupac. It's like something out of a movie, except it's real life, and Jimmy's right in the thick of it all. Which brings us to the shooting incident. The shooting incident. Alright, so what went down at that wild 2005 MTV Video Music Awards pre-party in Miami? Alright, so think of it like this, right? Kanye West is hosting a party, all the big names in the hip-hop scene is there, and then bam! Suge Knight gets shot in the leg. Chaos, right? But here's the thing, despite all the commotion, nobody gets arrested right away. It's kind of like a big mystery hanging over the whole event. But like fast forward a bit, and then comes CW3, our federal informant. Now this guy spills the beans about what really went down that night. Now turns out he was hired by none other than Jimmy Henchman Rosemond himself. Yeah, Jimmy allegedly paid CW3 10 grand and handed him a gun to take out Suge Knight. Y'all believe that? So now the plot thickens. Jimmy Henchman Rosemond, the once big shot music exec turned convicted drug trafficker, is in some pretty hot water again. Now the allegations against him are pretty serious stuff. Hiring somebody to shoot another hip hop mogul? And that's some next level rap drama right there. But you know what? In the wild world of hip hop, anything seems possible. So it ain't no wonder allegations was flying left and right. Motive and allegations. Now why would somebody want to take a shot at Suge Knight? Well honestly, there's a lot of speculation swirling around. Some people think it could be linked to old grudges or beef within the hip hop world. Now others say it might be tied to business rivalries or personal disputes. Honestly, it's like trying to piece together a puzzle with a bunch of missing pieces. But on to the alleged mastermind behind the shooting, Jimmy Henchman Rosemond. So picture this, a former music exec turned convicted drug dealer, supposedly pulling the strings behind the scenes of this whole mess. Man, it's like something out of a movie. But you know what? Stranger things have happened in the world of hip-hop. Let's not forget about the tangled web of connections, the previous criminal activities, and disputes within the hip-hop community. I mean, we're talking about a world where street cred and reputations mean everything. You know, see, when you start mixing in accusations of drug trafficking and past feuds, ain't no wonder things get messy real quick. Now in the end, it's a wild ride of motives, allegations, and connections that make this whole saga so captivating. But then Johnny Law just went and got involved. Legal ramifications. Now Jimmy isn't exactly living the high life anymore. Nah man, dude's been slapped with a life sentence for some serious drug trafficking charges. Like, I'm talking about life behind bars. This is like something straight out of a courtroom drama. But hold up for a second, because you remember that whole Tupac Shakur shooting theory, right? Well, apparently Jimmy spilled the beans about his involvement in that too. And can you imagine confessing to something that freaking big? It's like the plot thickens with every twist and turn. And then there's the CW3, our federal informant, dropping bombshells left and right. Now his testimony could have some major implications, especially in the Lyle Fletcher murder for hire case. It's like one domino falling after another, revealing more about the dark underbelly of the hip-hop world. Now in the end, it serves as a sobering reminder that actions have consequences even in the glitzy world of hip-hop and beyond. So grab some popcorn and buckle up, cause this legal roller coaster is far from over, baby. So let's take a moment to reflect on how these incidents have rocked the hip-hop community and what it means for the industry as a whole every time some nonsense like this be going down. Impact on the hip-hop community. When something like a shooting involving two big names like Suge Knight and Jimmy Henchman Rosemond happens, it sends shockwaves through the whole hip-hop world. Honestly, it's like a pretty good hard check of reality, reminding everybody that even in the glitzy world of rap music, there's a darker side lurking beneath the surface. Honestly, it makes you stop and think about the impact that these incidents got on the culture and on the people involved. Alright, let's take a look about the legal side of things, right? When prominent figures like Suge Knight and Jimmy Henchman Rosemond end up in hot water, it's kind of a big deal. See, this isn't just about one person getting in trouble, it's about the ripple effect that it's got on the entire industry, man. See, it's a wake-up call that nobody is above the law, no matter how big they are in the music world or how connected they are. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room here a little bit. I'm talking about the portrayal of violence and criminal activities within hip-hop culture. Now look, it's a complicated issue, but incidents like these kind of start to shine a spotlight on it. Now, on one hand, hip-hop's always been about expressing the realities of life, including the struggles and the hardships that many artists face growing up on the street. But on the other hand, there's a fine line between storytelling and glorifying violence. Now, it's something the hip-hop community continues to grapple with, and incidents like these force us to confront those uncomfortable truths. Now, in the end, it's a nice little reminder that the hip-hop world ain't just about flashy cars and bling. It's about real people facing real consequences. So let's make sure that we keep the conversation going, and we be working towards making the industry a safer and more positive place for everybody involved. Now, there's one thing that really stands out, and that's the importance of getting to the truth behind incidences like these. Now, it ain't just about gossip or entertainment. It's about finding justice and holding people accountable for their actions. Now, whether it be Suge Knight or Jimmy Henchman or anybody else involved, uncovering the truth is crucial for the integrity of the hip-hop community. Finally, what does all of this mean for hip-hop moving forward? Well, it's a reminder that ain't nobody above the law, no matter how big their name is in the industry or what connections they got. It's also a chance for the hip-hop community to reflect on the portrayal of violence and criminal activities within the culture. By seeking justice and striving for accountability, we can create a safer and more positive environment for everybody involved in hip-hop. Because sometimes this ain't about the nature of the game, y'all. It's about changing the perspective in the nature of the game. And I don't know about y'all, but I get really sick and tired of people looking down on hip-hop as like gangster rap. It's about a lot more than that. But you know what? Maybe it's time we start changing that perception and we start changing that narrative. I mean, after all, we in a new generation of hip-hop, baby. And that's all I got for y'all today. So make sure you let me know what you think about all this in the comments section down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make sure you like the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you next time.